What's up, big folks? We got an old generator here. Diagonally across my street, a couple of house flippers bought a house from an old man that died. Well, his kids, I suppose, actually grandkids. I don't know. Weird scenario. Anyway, I was contracted to do a bunch of work over there, and clearing out the yard was one of the things. And the guy said, what do you think I should do with this generator? And I said to him, well, my only concerns with that generator are number one, if you give it to me, and number two, if I never hear about it again. And he kind of chuckled and never mentioned it again. So it disappeared. Well, I've looked at it quickly, and let's verify. There's no fuel in it. Doesn't even really smell like fuel. This thing's old. I haven't been able exactly to determine the date, but I would guess late 90s, early 2000s was when these plastic tanks were popular. It could be all the way up into the early 90s. But we're going to see if we can get it running. So the first thing is we're going to check the oil and make sure that there is oil in it. I think I checked the other day and it looked okay, but I'll bring you down over here and show you where we're going to check the oil. I have a hunch this machine is quite low hours, so I don't foresee this being a big difficult thing. We might have to go through the carb, but I'm just going to show you the basic stuff you want to check. All right. Okay, this is your engine oil fill plug. Right next to this is an oil level cutoff. And what that basically means is that as long as the oil is basically up to the bottom of this fill here, your engine will run. If your engine leaks or consumes enough oil to get completely below this sensor in here, like way down in the bottom of your case, then your motor's going to shut off, preventing itself from blowing up. So let's pull this cap off and see what we got. Okay, well it looks like, let's grab a flashlight here. Alright, looks like the oil is right up to the bottom of the fill plug, and it looks damn near new. So we're going to go with that. If we get it running and it runs good, then we will change the oil. But for now, we're just going to put the cap back in. So there is oil in there. It looks like oil. Let's move on. Okay, now we're at the front of the motor. This is where our on-off switch on the top here resides. Feels a little chunky, but we're just going to trust it. We've got our recoil. Feels like it works. Engine has a little compression. And then we have our choke, our run. And behind here should be our air filter and our carburetor. Now, this feels a little like, woo, a little crunchy. Same to this. We're going to pull this cover off and take a look under here and kind of determine if we're just going to throw some fuel in this and see if it runs, or if we think we need to take this carburetor apart and rebuild it. Let me go grab a flathead screwdriver and see if we can get this cover off. Okay, screwdriver, cover. Let's get this off and see what it looks like under there. Try not to just let the screw fall out and drop into an oblivion. Oh look, that's nice. They're captive screws. So you can just, pay attention, because if they're captive, you can't lose them. If they're not captive, oh boy. Alright, what do we got here? Well, we got an air filter. And, alright, maybe it looks like it's been run. But, other than a spider's nest there, the carburetor, you know what? I say we just put fuel in it and see what it does. What do you guys think? Yeah. All right. Well, in true Musty One and Diesel Creek fashion, I'm gonna say that wow. Well, there's a strainer. I mean, yeah. I mean, it smells kind of gassy. Let me see if I can get something in there and soak up what this nastiness is. Actually, I'll show it to you first. Hold on. Let me get you in here. Okay. If I shine that light down in there, you should be able to see it. Now, there's like a little pool of gas around the pickup, and I'm only calling that gas because it probably was at one point. But I'm going to try and soak that up because that could also be water. So let me swap that out of there, and then we'll resume the putting in gas and firing it up. All right, we're back. I have successfully, well, I've done two things. I've mangled the filter screen that's in the tank, and I have also cleaned up that little bit of nastiness that was in there. Now, we're not going to put a whole bunch of fuel in here in case this starts pouring out the bottom somewhere. I'm figuring just enough to cover this screen. Okay. So, there's definitely enough fuel in there now that it should run. Because it's like a little sumpy thing. So let's put the cap on here. We don't want to have any extra incendiary moments. So let's move that. Alright. Yeah, I'm going to think this cap lets water in, would be my guess. Just lobbing that out there. Alright, so we got some unleaded in there. It looks as though there might be fuel getting through the fuel filter. Choke on, engine on. It sounds like it's breathing. I don't see a fuel valve. So I'm thinking we just try it again a few times. It's an interesting clicky clacky sound. Interesting. Is it getting fuel? Doesn't look like we're getting any fuel here. Wait a minute. Is that a fuel valve? Or am I about to drain the fuel out of the tank? I think that was a fuel valve. Because pretty sure our fuel filter's filling up now. Is it? Oh yeah. Alright. Well, let's try it a few more times. Still nothing. I do smell fuel. And now, oh yeah, now we got fuel flowing. So, do we have fuel leaking yet? No? I bet you she's going to start in a minute. Because I think the fuel filter wasn't going to fill up till the bowl on the carburetor was. And you know, if you don't know what any of this stuff is, I'm going to bring you in and show it to you. But I just wanted to see if we get this thing running on the camera. Alright, she runs. Alright, so I'm going to bring you in here and show you something. Let's see if I can turn your light on. Maybe. Here we go. Oh, hold on. Light on. Okay. So anyway, if you heard when the engine started up and I kind of played with the choke is what I was doing, I could tell that when I shut the choke off, the engine was going to run, not run away. Run away is a diesel thing. But in this case, these small flathead engines are supposed to run at a max RPM. And that's controlled by a governor. And if you look right here, this piece of linkage goes up over, and it actually goes up over here into the carburetor throttle. So this was stuck wide open. All I did was come over here after I shut the camera off, and I just yanked right here. I'm like, oh, this should move, this should move. Boom, boom. Got it free. Now, in this unit here, this is where your governor is going to be housed. There's a pin or a linkage here. Now, governors run in a couple of different ways. There are centrifugal governors that spin faster and weights come out. There's fan-type governors that'll run off of the flywheel. We can discuss all of those later. But the linkage for this governor comes out right here, and it tries to twist this rod, or twists this rod, which then pulls this linkage and controls the RPM. Now that I get the governor freed up, let's fire it up and see if it'll, you know, run at a regular RPM. As this is a generator, it's an auto throttle, meaning that it always wants to run at a set RPM. You can't throttle this particular unit up and down. All right, let me get you back in your stand. All right. See if she wants to run. Well, that sounds like a success. My flashlights still work. Yep, diesel lights are great. Okay, so she runs. I'm not going to keep running it indoors, but we will transfer our situation outside and see if this puppy's going to make some juice. So it turns out not too much of a revival. Will it start? All I had to do was put gas in it. Fix a stuck governor. So now what we're going to do, since we've proven that the generator's putting out voltage in the proper range, it runs okay, we are going to, well, my plan is I'm going to time lapse it. We're just going to give it a general scrubbing up. We're going to wash the whole thing down, make it look as new as possible. Maybe try and replace some of this hardware if possible. I think some of it's like riveted into the chassis here. But we're going to take a look, see if we can't, you know, fix this thing up a little bit. We're going to need to get a new fuel cap because that fuel cap's no good. But it doesn't appear to be leaking fuel profusely in any way. So sorry about the rear, but I think we've done all right. I'll catch you guys in a few minutes. All right, here she is. She's all cleaned up, changed the oil, made sure it runs good, tested the voltages. I just ordered a gas cap online. I mean, it's a free generator and sometimes it works out. Yeah, we could have ended up having to go through the carburetor and do a bunch of other stuff, but it would seem that my former neighbor, may he rest in peace, must have winterized it or whatever, you know, put it away intentionally because it was out of gas, the shutoff was closed, and the carburetor was in fine shape. If nothing, this is a testament to, if you don't know how, having your equipment set up for storage so that even if you do end up with a tank of sour gas, the shutoff is done, the carburetor is empty, and that way all you gotta do is get your sour gas out, fill her back up, and she'll run. Well, thank you for watching this short video. Bring in on any other revivals we got, and we'll just keep slowly trying to make more videos. Have a great day.